Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the chance to be here. First, before we start, we'd like to play an introductory video about what we do. Please.
Ini kedelai. Apa yang kamu ketahui tentang kedelai? Tempe, kecap, tahu, susu kedelai. Ada banyak sekali produk makanan yang terbuat dari kedelai di Indonesia. Tapi tahukah kamu kalau kedelai juga bisa diolah menjadi material sandang dan kerajinan tangan? Seperti ini. Bagaimana caranya? Kita tanya XXLab. XXLab adalah Ira, Eka, Asa, Ratna, dan Kiki. Pada tahun 2013 di Yogyakarta, mereka ikut serta dalam workshop elektronika dasar oleh Stefani Usil yang diberi judul Miss Balthazar. Selepas workshop, mereka kemudian membentuk sebuah kolektif baru bernama XXLab. XX dari kromosom perempuan. XXLab menjadi wadah kolektif bagi para perempuan dari beragam latar belakang dan disiplin ilmu untuk mengeksplorasi seni, sains, dan teknologi. Di mana salah satu proyek yang mereka kerjakan adalah SOYA C yang mengolah limbah tahu menjadi material sandang dan kerajinan tangan. Bahan yang diperlukan adalah limbah tahu, cuka, gula, urea, dan starter bakteri. Kita ambil limbah tahunya, rebus hingga mendidih bersama cuka, gula, dan urea. Setelah itu, pindahkan ke baki dan tunggu hingga dingin. Setelah dingin, kita masukkan starter bakteri yang kita buat sendiri dari air kelapa yang sudah tua. Tutup rapat baki dengan kertas dan simpan di tempat yang tidak terkena cahaya langsung. Bakteri akan membentuk lembaran nata de soya atau mikrobial selulose. Selanjutnya, lembar nata kita pres agar airnya keluar. Dan begini hasilnya. Sekarang, nata kita keringkan untuk diproses lebih lanjut dengan pewarna alam serta dilapis dengan lilin lebah agar menjadi lebih kuat. Lembar nata yang sudah diwarna dan dilapis lilin bisa kita manfaatkan sebagai material sandang dan kerajinan tangan seperti ini. Pengolahan limbah kedelai menjadi penting karena Indonesia adalah konsumen kedelai terbesar di dunia. Bayangkan berapa banyak limbah yang mengotori perairan dan merusak ekosistem jika hal itu dibiarkan begitu saja. Sementara jika diolah, limbah bisa memiliki nilai ekonomi dan mempunyai potensi pengembangan yang lebih luas. Dengan prinsip do it yourself, do it with other, serta keyakinan bahwa pengetahuan harus dapat dibagikan dengan bebas, XXLab berharap akan lebih banyak lagi pihak yang tertarik untuk mengolah limbah kedelai.
Thank you. Yeah, so as you can see in the video, we are XXLab, a collective with members from very different background, and that seems to be the one question that we get a lot during our time here in different forums and asked by different people. How did all of you get together, and why and how did you start this project together? And actually, most of us are not strictly from media art background, and actually none of us is from science background. So it's a bit unusual probably for this kind of project. And partly the answer can be found in the city that we're from. So Yogyakarta is a city in Indonesia, and no, it's not Jakarta, it's different. Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia, and our city is Yogyakarta, another city about 500 kilometers from Jakarta. So Yogyakarta, also known as Jogja, is a city that's famous for its art and culture, and it's also the education capital of Indonesia, where many students from all over the country go there to study in the university. And in terms of size and population, Yogyakarta is actually pretty small, but the art and culture scene is very active. That's why a lot of people from different backgrounds always seem to meet because it's very small. And because of the atmosphere and the activity of the city, many people from different backgrounds can collaborate and create something together. So that's partly the answer, how people from, how members of this collective who come from such a diverse background can get together and start this kind of project. And to be more specific, we started the SOYA C project because of several aspects. Like you can see in the video, the first one is pollution, because tofu and other soy-based food is a common staple food in Indonesia, and the factories are located all over the city, mostly home industries, and we don't really have strict regulations about waste management. Or maybe there are regulations, but it's not really practiced strictly. So usually the factories just dump the wastewater into the river, and we are trying to do something about it. And also, secondly, what motivated us to start this project is related to empowerment for the low-income families. Usually the males, the men, work either as a farmer or work in the city. And the females, the homemakers, have to stay at home because maybe they have children, but they often need additional source of income, and this kind of project could benefit them also. And maybe you can see from our project, it might be a bit different from other projects here because it's decidedly low tech, and we intended it to be easy to replicate, so other people, even those who don't have fancy equipment or those who don't have access to proper laboratories, can also do it in their own kitchen. We call it like domestic hacking. Shortly later, we'll tell you about the tools that we try to develop. We are trying to use as much as regular things, items that you can find at home or you can buy at grocery stores, regular household objects, so everyone can try and make them. And next, my friend will tell about art as a medium for science.
Hello, so I'm Irene. Yeah, so when first time we started, we don't know about what is the bacteria that we need and how we can grow it, and maybe can we grow it at home or we should go to the laboratory. And then there is a friend of us that can get access to a professor in one university, and then we met him and we asked him about many things. Is it possible or is it not? And then what we can push from this project, and is it can bring impact for the other people. And he loved to share everything with us, and then we use art actually as a representative for this project and from our research, because we think art is like a neutral zone or medium. Because when we started this project, actually there was big news in Jogja that nata, actually the microbial cellulose that we grow is a common food. When you make from coconut, is actually a common food that people in Indonesia eat it as a dessert. But and then suddenly there is a news that this food is dangerous because they use urea as one of the ingredients. And then the police closed some factories of the nata production or microbial cellulose production. And then we use art actually for the people in Yogyakarta to show the process of this is actually not dangerous and this is actually can bring more value. So we also collaborate with some females and nata production in Yogyakarta that they can also increase their income by making it into the next step. And then, yeah, maybe I will read it. So we practices serve as a model for citizen science and citizen support for science because we think scientific knowledge helps improve human condition through collective and action. But then also ordinary citizens are not only citizens but also capable of scientific endeavors, not only produce knowledge but also distribute it to their fellow citizens. So we use art as a medium to communicate scientific knowledge. So that's basically what we do. And for the residency that we did here, yeah, to be honest, actually we were quite late because there was a problem with flight communication and transportation that time. But maybe Eka can tell more about what we already did here during a very short time.
Okay. So actually the material itself, the material that we use for this project is not really a new invention. We didn't come up with this, to be honest. It's as Ira told you, this kind of material has been produced for a long time, but mainly as snack food using different ingredient with coconut water instead of soybean wastewater. So the process itself is pretty traditional. But for this purpose, we're trying to put a bit of, so to say, scientific approach to the whole process, for example, by documenting and then testing different approaches to grow the material, to produce the material efficiently and to create better result. For this residency, we are building an incubator, sort of temperature controller, because you know the process depends a lot on the bacterial culture process, and then it needs a certain temperature to thrive. So it needs to be warm enough, between 30 and 32 degrees Celsius, which is basically no problem back home because we're a tropical country that's pretty warm. But sometimes at night the temperature is not stable, so we try to hack a regular household object with light bulb or anything, mosquito repellent or anything that emits heat, and then using simple Arduino and relay switch and temperature sensor. So we built it, but at the moment it's pretty small. But all the equipment and then all the other projects that we saw at the Future Lab has inspired us for future projects. For example, to assess the content of the materials, acidity, and other factors, so we can control and create a better product for this project. Okay, thank you very much.